So we've got a test call. I have some hand-spun socks on the needles. In love with it. Hello and welcome to Golden Hour Knitwear. My name is Camry and we've got a regular project update video today. I'm going to share whips, finished objects. I've got a test call today, finally. Yeah, so let's just jump into it. I guess before I get into the test call, I'll share really quick what I'm wearing. So this is my first ever and currently only hand spun sweater. I spun and knit this at the beginning of the year. It's a Corriedale with little bits of sari silk, like rainbow sari silk, plied with a baby alpaca, and then I've got a Surrey yarn in there as well. So that's what, if it'll focus, there we go. That's what the fabric looks like. It's kind of fun. I was worried that I wouldn't have enough yardage, so I dyed up some Surrey, held with it, and just self-drafted a sweater to the fit and whatnot that I wanted, and I absolutely love it. It turned out a lot better than I expected it to, and every time I put it on, I realized how much I love it. I was worried with the rainbow tweed. I thought it was too much for me, but I actually really, really love it. Anyways, on to regular things. So we've got a test call, and I'm not gonna put it on because I don't want to put this on over my sweater, but I will put in a clip of me wearing this shirt jacket months ago when I wasn't quite as pregnant, so you can get a better idea of fit. That's the best I have. I don't have this on a regular sized body. My bust has grown a bit with pregnancy, and obviously my belly has grown a bit. But this is quite oversized, so it's fitted in the shoulder. This is my home shirt jacket, and it's not buttoned up, so you'll have to watch the clips that I put in. But this is my home shirt jacket. It's been done for a while. I have other podcasts on it if you want to watch those, just to get more information. But since I have the test call today, I figured I would bring it back up. So this is in collaboration with Rachel from ZZ Textiles. Absolutely love her. So this yarn is her Heirloom DK base. Here, I have one right here, which is 40% Shetland, 40% BFL, and 20% alpaca. So it's just a scrumptious, woolly goodness of a yarn. I absolutely love it. And we have 4 colors put together for the kits, 4 different kits available. This is one of them. And then this is the other one. And then there's 2 more that I'm kind of sad that I didn't get samples for those as well, because they're good colors and I kind of want a sample in all 4 colors. Maybe when it comes out, I'll grab more. But for now, where's the top of this thing? My home shirt jacket is inspired by cozy flannel jackets that my dad and brothers wear this time of year when it's chilly outside, it's cold. They don't wear coats. I mean, sometimes they wear coats, but they mostly wear flannel jackets rather than just regular jackets. In fact, I can't even picture my big brother in a zip-up jacket, or my dad, like a regular like zip-up. I can't, with a hoodie, I can't imagine that, because it's just flannel jackets. So this just reminds me of my home, my brothers, my dad, because I don't live at home anymore. I live in Ohio on one side of the United States. They live in Utah on the other side of the United States. Not quite, you know, coast to coast or anything. Not quite all the way across the country, but pretty far. So this reminds me of them. This is the most me thing I've ever knit, and it reminds me so much of home anytime I wear it, and I love it. So it's inspired by flannel jackets. We've got a collar here, and I'm actually going to lengthen the collar a little bit in the pattern. But it's a double knit, not double knit, you don't use double knit technique to knit it, but it's knit on both sides so that it's nice and thick, and it's stockinette on both sides. And then it is a contiguous construction. So you have 3 different types of increases. You have your shoulder increase, all seamless. You don't have to knit any panels. It's not a saddle shoulder. You cast on for the collar, then you divvy up the stitches in a certain way so that you can increase for like the front and the back panel, and you have this kind of panel up at the top that stays the same on the shoulder, and then you start increasing only for the sleeves and not for the front or back, and then you do raglan increases just to make everything big enough, right? And to deepen that yoke a little bit, or to make it not too deep, I guess. And then you split for sleeves, cast on underarm stitches, and you knit back and forth for the body, just like you do for any other cardigan. And then we have a rounded split hem at the bottom, which I love, a rounded split hem. I need to reblock this because it's rolling up a little bit, but I didn't pin it when I blocked it. And then an I-cord edge down at the bottom. Double knit button bands. There's 5 buttons on this shirt jacket because it's quite long. And I did, my bottom button is not clear at the bottom. It's a good ways up, which I really love. And then let's see. Oh, the sleeves. So the sleeves they have a slit at the bottom. They're a tapered sleeve, though I'm gonna adjust the decrease rate in the pattern and do a little bit baggier of a sleeve than what you see in the photo, just because it's a little bit tight on the wrist. But there's a slit in the sleeve, and then it ends in a double knit cuff held together with a button. And it turned out so well. I absolutely love the sleeves on this thing. Turned out so well. As far as the yarn goes, like I said, this is a special collaboration with Rachel from ZZ Textiles. So this yarn is perfect for this pattern. It is 40%, like I said earlier, 40% Shetland, which is a really lovely breed of sheep. It's nice and soft. It's one of the more soft breeds, but it's still nice and woolly. Same with BFL, 40% BFL. My favorite breed, by the way. If you are new here. If you're not new here, you're sick of hearing that from me. I love BFL. It's nice and bouncy and woolly while still being soft. Shetland is similar. And then the Alpaca, the 20% Alpaca, just softens it up, adds extra drape. It's very, very nice. It's a little bit more of a rustic yarn, but not in a bad way. You can tell it's woolly, and it softens up so much with wear. My swatch is over there, and I'm not gonna get up and go get it. But I can tell that this has softened up a lot with the many times that I have worn it. And I don't think it pills too bad. There are some pills, but I have worn this a ton. I finished it clear back in August. I've worn it a ton since then, and I haven't depilled it yet, I don't think. Though it could use a depilling. So, you know, a couple months of lots of wear, and it is just now needing a depilling, and it's just so much, it just softens up a lot with wear. I love it. It's just one of those ones that's gonna last forever and ever and ever. So very pleased with that yarn choice. It's exactly why I was collaborating with Rachel from ZZ Textiles on this design, because the yarn was so perfect. But also because her brand is just focused around nostalgia and coziness and everything, and so it's just perfect for the inspiration of the sweater in general. So the test is open today. If you see this the day that it goes up, it'll be open for a couple days, from Saturday through Sunday, Monday-ish, depending on how quickly I can get testers for each size. And then there is limited yarn support for testers. I'm not going to say the discount off the top of my head because I can't remember exactly, and I don't want to lead you astray, but there's limited discounted yarn support, which is awesome. If you want to use the same yarn, you're able to, if you are ordering from Rachel. And then I believe the way it works is putting the test call out now. I'll take a couple days to gather testers. I'll choose testers. Testers will have time to order their kits if they're ordering kits. You're welcome to use whatever yarn you have on hand that meets gauge. I believe it's 20 by 28 stitches, if I'm remembering correctly, in a 4-inch or 10 centimeter. But you're allowed to use any yarn, but if you're using kits, so the way this test will work, testers will get notified, and then there's going to be a 2-week wait time while everyone's getting their yarn in from Rachel or from wherever else, and then the test will officially start 2 weeks after that. So it's not starting for a couple more weeks if you need extra time to finish up other test knits or gift knitting or whatever before the test officially starts. And then Rachel and I are both very adamant about giving testers enough time to test, so ideally 10 to 12 weeks of a testing period, and then coming out late February-ish, March-ish. So we'll see on all the timelines and things, but that's what you can expect from the test. There is a link in the description of this video if you are interested in testing. The shirt jacket is graded from a 30 to 32 inch bust up to a 62 to 64 inch bust. If I'm remembering correctly, it's around there. Definitely over 60 inches. And then there's a 10 inch positive ease on top of that. So yeah, do the math there. My brain is shutting down on me for the time being. But all the information, all the schematics and everything are in the tester application in that Google link, that Google form link in the description. Okay, on to finished objects for this podcast episode. There's a few because it's been a while. That's just the way it is when you're pregnant, getting to the end, pregnant in general. And it's just, there's only so much energy to go around. I'm feeling good today, so we'll see what happens. But, not bending over to get that. Okay, so I finally finished some handspun, or not handspun, some socks. I haven't finished socks in quite a long time. And y'all have to forgive these, because I wear these all the time. So they're not quite as clean and beautiful as they were when I first finished them. But I love these. So I casted these on at the beginning of the year and they just sat. I haven't been very big into sock knitting this year, which is a shame because I love, love, love my hand knit socks. And these are probably my favorite pair. But I'm kind of getting back into it. Kind of in the headspace where I want to knit but don't have a lot of headspace to knit. And so little accessories are perfect. But anyways, this is just a it's a 64 stitch sock, nothing fancy. I did like a 3x1 rib. I did a 1x1 at the top and did these stripes here at the top. And then I did 3x1 for the leg and then for the top of the foot and just stocking it for the bottom. So this yarn is the colorway Love Letter from Casual Fashion Queen. Love her yarn. She is like the goddess of speckling. I love her colors and the colors she puts together and her crisp speckles. She brings back colorways. She doesn't do collections. She brings in colorways and has in shop updates and whatnot. So this colorway is actually back. Like occasionally you might be able to find this on her website. And then this contrast color I just grabbed out of my stash of oopsies. When I develop colorways, sometimes they're not exactly what I want them to be, or I run out of time to release them or something. So I just had 1 or 2 skeins of this colorway sent around and I thought it was perfect because it has some of this color speckle in there and I love the way it turned out. So I just call these my Love Letter socks because that's the colorway name of the main color. And I just absolutely love them. I love the fit of ribbed socks. I absolutely recommend knitting yourself some ribbed socks if you struggle getting socks to fit correctly. And yeah, the second one is done. It's just buried in the mass of knitting stuff I have right here. This was not, maybe, this might have been the next one. This was the next one, I think. Anyways, I knit an Oslo hat. I don't think that you saw this in the last episode. It was just a quick little easy knit for myself to have some stockinette in the round with not much thinking. And I'm really happy with how it turned out. It's a little bit, it doesn't sit exactly how I want at the top for some reason. I don't really know. I also went down like 2 sizes because it's super, well, it's okay. I guess it just depends on what, if I put it on a little bit sideways and just because of how I blocked it, if I have this in the front, it just looks a little funny. But yeah, I went down like 1 or 2 sizes because I'm used superwash yarn and I know superwash stretches. So when I blocked it, I stretched it pretty good. And I think it turned out really well. I think I went down 2 sizes. I think I should have only gone down 1 because it does look a bit stretched. Like right here, it looks a little bit extra stretched, but I don't mind that too much. This was another oopsie colorway. It's a beautiful colorway. I don't know if I still have the recipe, but it wasn't exactly what I was going for what I was developing at the time. So I just had 2 skeins that I used in a Oslo hat, and I love how it turned out together. I just love holding 2 strands of hand-dyed yarn together. I think it always just turns out so beautiful. Love it. I need to figure out what this recipe is because it's such a beautiful brown. Such a beautiful warm brown with just these golden undertones kind of. I don't know if you can see that or if that's coming across on the camera, but I love it. Anyways, that one went really well. I will probably definitely be making more. In fact, I kind of want to make one for my daughter for her birthday, but that's coming up quick. So we'll see if that happens or not. We'll do this garment finished object. I love this so much. So I think I showed this on the last podcast episode. I don't know how far along I was, but I absolutely love it. This is just a self-drafted cardigan. And I'm not gonna put it on, but I absolutely love it. I love the color. It's the soft, like, beige, but kind of golden-y beige, kind of champagne-y. I don't know, I really love it. It's a sport weight, 100% baby alpaca held with a mohair. And it is the most scrumptious fabric. I absolutely love it. And it's a loose gauge, so it's extra drapey. I feel like loose gauges tend to be pretty drapey, plus the alpaca and the mohair. So drapey, and it's so soft. It's funny, every time my husband picks it up, he's like, ooh, that feels good. I just love this yarn combo. I wanted to use this yarn combo for a book club cardigan, but it's just a little bit too fuzzy for me, especially because alpaca yarn tends to have a halo already, plus the mohair just lost a lot of stitch definition. I loved the way the colors slightly marled together because the mohair is a little bit darker than the alpaca, just because I had the same recipe but a different amount of yarn in the pans. So the mohair has a little bit more dye. It's a slightly darker shade than the alpaca is. But I just love the way they marled together, and I thought it would be just gorgeous just as a stockinette sweater. And I was right. I love it. I don't know if it's coming across on the camera, but I just love, 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 love it. These are the buttons I have. I talked about last week about using different buttons for this, but they were just kind of too chonky. They were just a little bit too big. I felt like it was going to weigh the sweater down a little bit, and they were not the right shade. And they just felt, I don't know, they just didn't feel like the right shade. I love these buttons, how these buttons came together on it though, so perfect. And I had them already, so perfect. Again, this is just a self-drafted cardigan. I love, love, love it. I think it's just, you know, just drop shoulder, tapered sleeve, 1x1 rib, double knit button band. Just love it. It's a decent length. It's not super cropped, but it's not super long. And it's like a good, decent chunk of ribbing down at the bottom. Love it, love it, love it. I'm thinking, and then, you know, the classic drop shoulder lines in the back there. I have another sweater quantity of this same yarn combo in my stash that I think I want to knit up a sweater version of this. So like V-neck, 1x1 rib, same fit, same gauge, everything, and have a pattern come out sometime next year that has both the cardigan and the sweater in it, just because it's just a simple cardigan, simple sweater, very loose, or not loose, very big gauge, so it's a quick knit. Just because it's nice to have patterns like that. So I think I want to do that. But I'm so tempted to just knit it as another cardigan because I love this cardigan so, so much. But I think I would love it as a sweater too because it is so soft. And with a sweater, you don't have to wear anything underneath it. So it's just going to be all that softness just on my skin. It's going to feel so cozy. So I'm tempted to cast that on, but I don't have the time right now. Anyways, I don't have a name for it or anything. It's just my favorite, one of my favorites. I have so many good cardigans now, but love, love, love that. I think that's all my finished knits for now. I have a finished spin, and then I have a half finished knit that I'll show you after this. But so I finished my, I don't know, did I show you this last time? I don't know if I was still spinning this or if I had finished spinning and just needed to ply, or if I had already plied it but didn't set the yarn. But I set my yarn. So this is fiber that I got from Flock from Hello Lavender. She just started dyeing fiber, and my goodness, all of her fiber is gorgeous. This is 100% just Rambouillet. It is super soft. It is super bouncy. It's super squishy and lovely. I thought I spun this up super, super thinly, and I thought I had a good, like, well, some places might be a good fingering weight. This is kind of thick and thin because this was like the second thing that I ever spun on my my wheel, my new wheel there, rather than my e-spinner, so I was still getting used to things. But it bloomed a ton when I set it compared to other yarn that I set at the same time. But it's gorgeous. This is the colorway Plant Vibes. Very enjoyable to spin. Absolutely loved it. I thought about knitting a hat with this, but I don't know if I would wear it or not. I love the colorway, but do I love it as a hat? I don't know. I don't know if I could go that crazy for a hat, even though it's not that crazy. It's not super crazy. I don't know. Let me know what you would do with this. I have quite a bit of yardage. I don't know. I think I would probably use it as a DK weight or a sport weight. I haven't pulled out my WPI thing or anything, but let me know if you have any ideas. I thought about a hat, but I don't know if I could do that as a hat. I need to swatch with it and kind of decide from there. It's so squishy. I need to knit with it. I'm so excited to see how it knits up. So there's that. Okay, and then I have a half-finished object. I don't think I shared this on the podcast. It's a sock. It's a colorwork sock. I brought in a new yarn base to the shop. It's a non-superwash sock yarn, 80% merino, 20% nylon. It's non-superwash, very soft. And I dyed up some little frog and toad sock sets on both the superwash and the non-superwash. And then I knit up this cute little sock with the non-superwash. So this is the non-superwash. I have said non-superwash like a billion times in the last minute. But, oh my gosh, this is my new favorite sock yarn. I can't go back to superwash. I haven't even worn this a lot, but it just feels so good. And I know since it's non-superwash versus superwash, non-superwash holds its shape better than superwash does. So I know, I feel like a lot of the time I finish a pair of socks, they fit fantastic, but then after a couple wears, they're just loosey-goosey. Anyways, I just love these. I know they're gonna hold their shape a little bit better. And it's fantastic for color work. Love it. So this is the Frog and Toad little mini skein set. I have a couple left in the shop if you're interested. But this is the Midwinter sock set, the second version, I think. So there's a pattern set by Summer Lee that has like 3 different little colorwork sock patterns in it, and they're all wintry and cute and fun. I think this is I think they're the Midwinter sock sets. I think this is the second pattern in there. If you want to do the same thing, absolutely love the way it turned out. I need to knit the second one. I haven't even cast it on yet, but I need to because it was so much fun to knit. I think I knit the sucker in like 2 or 3 days. It's rows of 1x1 ribbing and rows of just knitting. Oh, that's the back side. The beginning of the round side, I should say. So much fun. I highly recommend the pattern, and I can happily say that I highly recommend the yarn because I very much love it. I would have cast it on well before now, but I just feel like the baby's gonna come so soon, and I don't want to have a project that has like 6 different yarns in it going at the same time right as I have a baby. So I think that's why it's kind of, I've just been hesitant, but I don't know. We'll see if I cast it on soon. But anyways, so that's a half finished, because that was blocked, half finished and wrinkly because it's been sitting in a bag. So half finished, but still work in progress. I have some Handspun socks on the needles. Look how fun! I love these. They're actually turning out a little bit better than I expected. So I have this new fiber base that I'm so excited about. It is 75% BFL, 25% mohair. So this is a perfect blend for socks. BFL is a long wool, it's less likely to felt, it's more durable than merino, it's still soft. Not soft as merino, but it's still soft, right? If you've ever worked with BFL before. BFL is also, you know, crimpy and squishy, and it blooms a bit when you wash it or when you block it. And it's just so much fun. And then mohair is extremely strong and lustrous. BFL is also lustrous. So you have a little bit of a shine to your fabric, whereas you wouldn't really get that with Rambouillet. Rambouillet is kind of matte. Like, It doesn't shine. Whereas mohair and BFL both shine, kind of like silk. They shine a little bit. And so I was super excited about this blend. I just had to have it. It's perfect for socks. Like I said, super strong, a natural strengthening factor. Mohair, Angora, and silk, those three are very strong while still being soft, and they're gonna help keep your socks strong if you add them to the fabric. So love that. And then the BFL is also, you know, one of the stronger, less likely to felt down wool, not down wools, long wools out there. So I dyed up some Christmas fiber. I wish I had, I'll put a picture of the braid up here. I took one for myself, of course, and I spun it in a 3-ply fractal. And I was worried I was gonna, I've never done a 3-ply fractal before. I was worried I was gonna lose the color changes in it a little bit because, I mean, it's what, 3 or 4 different colors in the braid, 4 different colors, 4 or 5, plus, you know, 3 different rates of color changes. I was worried that with a 3-ply fractal, it was going to be too much and you weren't going to see any striping at all, but you can kind of totally see some striping. At least what I can see on the camera, I can definitely see some striping. In real life, I can't see quite as much striping, but there's little hints of striping here and there, and it's so much fun. So this colorway is Vintage Christmas. There's some pinkier reds in there, there's some greens, there's some golds, there's some lighter reds in there. It's a lot of fun. The way I am knitting this up is, so I cast on like I would for any other sock. I did a 2x2 rib, and I'm just knitting until I'm halfway done with my skein of yarn, or until it gets too long. I don't want a crazy long sock, but I'm gonna just knit until my skein is like halfway-ish gone, or until it's a good length, and then I'll knit the other one, and then I'm probably spin up some contrasting yarn in the same way, a 3-ply, and do an afterthought heel, and then finish off the toe. So I have contrasting heel toe. I know how much yardage I have, but I don't often knit socks that have this DK weight gauge. I don't know how much yardage that's gonna take, and I'm worried that I'm gonna run out. So I'm just gonna knit, like I said, until I'm halfway through my skein, until I've used about half of it, a little less than half, and then I'll add the toe and the heel later. This works perfect for vanilla socks. It doesn't really work for textured socks because typically with socks, you're gonna leave out the texture after the heel, and you have to know where your heel is in order to do that. So with this, I don't know where I'm gonna put my heel. I'm just gonna knit. And so that's been really nice to just grab and go. I don't have to think about, oh, is this getting too long? Or, oh, how's this gonna fit? Where do I need to stop and put my heel? I'm just going, and it's so nice. Perfect little stockinette project there. Loving the fiber. It was so much fun to spin. Love the way it's knitting up. It's got a cute little halo. I don't think you can see that. It's got a cute little halo to it, and it's feeling nice. It's feeling nice and sturdy for a sock, but at the same time, it's feeling, especially as a 3-ply, but it's also soft. When I prep the fiber to dye it, I'm in heaven just feeling how soft it is. I am super tempted to spin a 1-ply yarn for like a sweater, or a 2-ply yarn even for a sweater. I just need to plan it and like dye it up and spin it because it's got to be special. So I'm excited for that. I have no set plans, but I'm excited about the blend of all. I'm hoping to get the extra braids of this up in the shop this weekend, or I guess that would be today when you're watching this. So keep an eye open for that. There might be a link in the description if it's available down there. Okay, I was supposed to be done with this one forever ago, but it's been sitting for a bit because I had to go buy more yarn for it. I was gonna run out, and I just didn't have the headspace to work on it for a little bit. I am so close to being done though. Can I get it out? You're probably sick of seeing this. Next time I film a podcast, which is probably post-baby, this has to be done by then. So this is my Minou cardigan. I love it. It is such a beautiful stitch pattern. I'll show you the back because this part's blocked. Look how beautiful that is. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this yarn is a local to me yarn. 50% merino, 50% alpaca, natural color. I've talked about this project a ton. So if you're interested, you can watch past podcasts. But I just have a little bit of a sleeve left to go. I'm almost done. I only have this much yarn left, and this is a yarn eating project because of the half fisherman's rib and cables and everything. But I went and got some more, and she was almost out, so I'm glad I got some more because I don't know if it's ever coming back. So I got more, and I'm excited to finish that up. And I got some buttons. I think these buttons work. Tell me if they don't work. I don't know what else to use. It was either these or there's buttons on Etsy that I love, but they're a little bit more expensive. So what do you think? Oh, I don't know if you can even see that. I'll put it right here. And the window's right there, so it's probably really, really blaring it out. Is this too much contrast? Oh my. Oh, there we go. That might be better. Is that too high contrast? I don't know. It's a cute little like gold champagne-y color button. It's super cute. And I like it a lot. I just don't know if it's too high contrast for this cardigan or not. Anyway, I am excited to have this done. It's been on the needles for well over a year at this point, and I just need to finish it up so I can wear it because it'll be a staple. I'll wear it a ton. But I just needed a break from it because I was working so hard on it for a while. It was pretty much monogamous knitting for a while, and so I needed a little break. But I should just finish it up this weekend and just finish it. Okay, next up, you've seen this one, but I'm going to frog it, I think. Yeah. So I haven't worked on this much, but since it's a design, I'll tell you my thought process on it. I'm thinking the not so basic rib sweater. It's mixture of rib and moss stitch, or just stockinette and moss stitch, I guess. And I was thinking raglan with a double folded collar, but the way I have it split right now, the sleeves, the stockinette section on the sleeves don't quite match the stockinette sections on the body. It's like they don't line up, and that kind of bugs me. It bugs me a little bit. I feel like it'll bug me more once it's like totally finished. So I need to decide whether I want to just rip it out and do a drop shoulder like I was originally doing, because I am much more confident in designing drop shoulders than in designing raglans, because I knit a lot more drop shoulders than I knit raglans. I don't want to knit a raglan and then not have it fit well. I need to do more research and practice with compound raglans because I'm so much a drop shoulder person that I don't knit a lot of raglan sweaters. So I'm going to do more research and practice and learn more about them before I attempt designing one. So that's that. I'm thinking I'll do a drop shoulder. I was originally planning drop shoulder, and then I was talking about raglans with my friend, and I got excited to make it a raglan. But I think I'll love it as a drop shoulder. So that might be what happens. Plus it'll just go so much faster. I do not like knitting raglans. So we'll see what happens. I don't know if this one will happen this year or not. I might put it off for next year again, but we'll see what happens. All right, and then my daughter's birthday is coming up. She's gonna be 3, and I wasn't planning on knitting her a sweater this year, but we pulled out her sweater from last year and it still fit. So she's been wearing that and she loves it, and she's just so excited about it. She's like, my sweater! And this year she actually has a favorite color. She loves blue. And so when I saw how much she loved last year's sweater, and it's getting a little short on her, it fits everywhere, it's just a little short. And I don't have enough yarn to lengthen it, but I brought her into the dye studio in the basement and had her pick out some overflow yarn to knit her a sweater or some one-of-a-kind yarn or whatever. And I pulled out she picked this blue color. She loves blue. And I'm knitting her a sweater. And I'm almost done with the body. I have bound off the back. It's a split hem. I bound off the back hem, and I'm just working on the front hem. So it'll be almost done. And then I'll do the sleeves and the neck and call it a day. So I did some cute little color work hearts in this yarn, which is yarn that I dyed up for her 2nd birthday to kind of be like, yay, happy birthday, happy 2nd birthday. She loved butterflies when she was turning 2, when she was 1, turning 2. Every time she saw butterflies, she'd go, bye-bye. And so I dyed. I dyed up a blue, purpley, pinky, white, pastel-y butterfly yarn for her 2nd birthday. So I'm using this yarn finally. I was gonna knit her a sweater in this, but never got around to it. So I'm holding all these yarns double because they're all fingering weight. And I've got this cute little drop shoulder sweater with hearts across the very front. And I'm knitting it pretty big, so it should fit her next year. I just need to make sure I knit it long enough. I already ripped out the hem and added more length to this one. I stopped it probably here an inch or 2 ago and started the hem, but then tried it on her and I was like, oh, your little belly's popping out. So I had to rip out the hem and add another inch or 2 before doing the hem again. But I'm excited to get sleeves and a collar on here because this colorway is at the sleeve. I knit it flat. This is my first time knitting colorwork flat, I believe. I think it's my first time knitting colorwork flat. It was not fun. Not fun. But it's so cute. It's a little sloppy. I'm hoping that it blocks out all right. But it's my 3-year-old's sweater, so it doesn't really matter. But it'll be super cute with the sleeve on there, if you can just imagine. Little hearts just going across right here. Super in love with it. It's been super quick, easy, fun knitting as well. So I think this is mostly what I've been working on in my knitting lately because it's just simple stockinette, and that's where my brain's at right now. It was cute. I tried it on her to check the length, and she's like, where are the sleeves? She didn't say where the sleeves, but I could tell that's what she's thinking. She's like, and the neck is obviously super loose because there's no collar on it. So she's like, what? What is this? This is a sweater. You say it's a sweater, but it doesn't have sleeves and my neck is like out there. What? It was just funny. And it's like, it's okay, girl. I'll add your sleeves and I'll put the neck on there. It'll be okay. Mommy still has to make it. So that was cute. And that reminds me, after she chose the yarn, and I was like, okay, I'll make you a blue sweater. Every time we put a sweater on her, the next following mornings, a couple following mornings, she'd be like, blue sweater, blue sweater. And it's like, sorry, I haven't finished making it yet. It takes time. So she finally kind of forgot about it. She sees it. She's obviously seen it because she tried it on for me. But I gotta finish it in the next little while because her birthday is coming up quick, which is crazy that she's gonna be 3. But super cute. I love it. And I'm doing 2x2 rib, my favorite. So it'll be cute. Hopefully it's not massive once I block it because this is super wash yarn, but we'll see. Okay, and then just one more sweater project. I wanted to have something that was just simple stockinette that I didn't have to think about, especially for when the baby comes. And I was planning on having that be the DRK everyday sweater with some scrumptious BFL Masham cashmere yarn, the Luxe Sport Base from Sonder Yarn Co. But I haven't gotten around to casting that on yet. But I have been dying to knit this for like forever, and I've had the yarn in stash forever. So I finally cast it on, and I love the yarn. This is also the yarn from the yarn store by me. It's the local yarn, 50% alpaca, 30% mohair, alpaca, and just wool. And I love the way it feels in stockinette, especially once it's blocked. And so I finally cast on a zipper sweater. So I'm super excited about this one. I'm not very far. It's a raglan. Wish me luck. But I mean, it's been enjoyable so far. The yarn is interesting and fun, and so that's what's encouraging me to work on it. Plus, there's a little bit more going on. So I'm excited to get to the point where I join in the round and I can see how the zipper's gonna sit in there. And then I don't think I'll have that much more left to go before I split for sleeves, and then it's just body and sleeves from there. And then that'll be my easy peasy stockinette knitting for when the baby comes, even though it's black yarn. It's a bad idea. But it'll be fine. It'll be good. I've been so excited to have this sweater forever, and I'm glad I finally cast it on. Okay, that is all of my projects. Yeah, that's all my projects, all my finished objects and everything. However, I did get some acquisitions in the last little while. Okay, so just a couple of fun little things. As far as acquisitions go, well, that feels funny. So like I said, I had to go get more yarn for my Minou cardigan because I was running out. And so and they only come in cones. This yarn comes on a cone. So I had to get a whole chonky cone to finish just the sleeve of my sweater, my cardigan. So I was thinking about what I would do with the rest of it. I don't know if I could get a whole sweater out of it or if I would need to do something else. But I've had this idea of knitting myself a sibling sweater that's like a nice chocolate brown and a navy blue. And I'm so excited about that idea. And again, this is the same yarn as my zipper sweater. I've had that black cone in my stash forever. And I love the way it feels in a stockinette. And so I was like, hey, I'll just get a white cone because she has black cones, brown cones, and white cones. And so I also got a white cone so I can dye up a nice navy blue on it. Not sure how well this will take the dye because it's half alpaca, half merino. And alpaca tends to take dye a little bit softer than other wools. So I don't know how it'll take dye, but I think this brown will look beautiful with any shade of navy blue. So like even if it's a light shade of blue, a light shade of navy blue. I know navy blue is dark, but I think it'll be nice with any shade of blue, and I'll be happy with whatever. So that's what I'm thinking. But at the same time, they look nice together just like this. So I don't know. I think I do want to do the blue route, but we'll see. So sibling sweater, and then we'll see what I have left over after that. Probably we'll be able to get another striped sweater, but we'll see what happens. So I picked those up. They're only $25 a cone, so that was very exciting. Or it's just nice to have cones. I don't know. It's just, I don't know why it's so fascinating because it's nice local yarn, so it's exciting for me anyways. And she's running out. She had them last year. That's when I initially found them and got some. And she had a lot less cones when I went and visited to get the brown one. There's just not a whole lot left. So I'm glad I snatched them before I can't get some anymore because I love them. And it's such a good deal. That's like a pound of yarn. That's a whole sweater quantity of yarn on one cone almost for my size. And so the $25, natural wool, not hand processed, but local to me, killer deal. It's so good. And then one more acquisition, I got Frog and Toad fiber from Lauren from Little Fiber Co. I told you about my Frog and Toad sock sets or mini skein sets at the beginning of the episode. I did a little update, in-stock update with those and collaborated on that little mini collection with Lauren. She did fiber. And Sarah from Denim and Rain, she did beautiful, gorgeous little stitch markers. I didn't get to snag one in time when her shop went open, but they were so cute. So I'm glad I at least got some fiber. I think they're so fun. This one is the Lovers. She had 3 different colors. This one's the Lovers. It's 100% BFL, my favorite. And it's just so good. I love it. So I'm thinking about spinning it up for some color work on something. And I have this 100%, no. This is 50% BFL, 50% Mash'em. So it's not quite the same base, but it's fine. And it's a nice deep brown with these fun moody greens. And I have 2 of these, and I need a little extra something to go with this in order to have enough for a sweater. And I thought about using some other BFL scraps to do some fun color work stuff or stripes or whatever. But I found a pattern that has a color work yoke, and I think I kind of want to use this for the color work yoke and this for the rest. I don't know how to say the Jardim, the sweater on the screen so you can see what it is. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know when I'll get to it, if I mean, it wouldn't take that long for me to spin it up, but that's what I'm thinking. I think it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, that's all for now. It's all my whips, all my projects, all my news, all of my acquisitions. Remember the test call is open if you're interested in that. Link is in the description. Remember, we've got an in-stock update. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know when next time will be because the baby's coming, but I will see you eventually. Thanks for sticking around. Thank you for all the support that you've given Golden Hour Knitwear. I've got lots of fun plans for next year, and so there's more to come, and I'm excited for it all. I hope you have a wonderful fall/winter/holiday season, because it's that fun time of year for us knitters, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.